Hello everyone, my name is Agata Piatek. I'm a regional manager at Hayes Talent Solutions. On daily basis I deal with recruitment. However, today we won't focus on recruitment that much, but we will rather talk about the carrots, meaning motivators, the reasons why people join companies, the reason why people choose the city, because we would also like to discuss a little bit more in detail Krakow itself, and also the reasons why people leave or rather decide to stay, so also on the retention factors. We won't be talking about our experiences, but we will focus more on the survey that we run. The survey was created in March 2015 as a result of the workshops that we've conducted with my colleagues from HR Consulting at Hayes, and that was made with cooperation with Aspire. We have invited members of the Aspire, mainly HR managers and business representatives, to help us and create the survey, which will answer the questions that they would like to raise and to provide you with an information on how to manage the talent that you have in your organization. As a follow-up to the workshops that we've run in March, you were also proposing your own questions, the questions that you would like to ask the respondents. And as a result, we have printed out the report, the summary, which you will all find in your packs. I will probably show it to yourselves. So we won't be talking into too much of the details today. This is how it looks like. So probably you should all have received that. If not, then those are available at our stand on the second floor. From the perspective of the survey itself, we've run that throughout Poland, so we didn't focus only on the Krakow audience. However, today we will be talking about the results from Krakow, because I'm aware that that's the most interesting part. Also, one of the reasons why we've decided to do that is that we've heard that it's over 30,000 people working in the sector. It will be 38,000 by the end of 2015, or it can, depending from how you count that, it is over 40,000 people working in the sector already. Therefore, we wanted to see what else can be done in order to support the recruitment activities, talent attraction activities, to make our lives easier, basically, our and yours. So we've asked we have received answers from over 2,800 people from across Poland. Only in Krakow, over 700 people answered to the questions. And what we took a look into when we were checking when we were surveying our participants is where they do originate from. And why did they come to Krakow? Because we also wanted to focus on the city itself. So we were checking if those are local candidates or local employees of the shared service centers, if those are people that used to relocate and currently live in the city, or if those are foreigners that relocated to Poland. And it turns out that 35% of the people that we've managed to receive answers from came from other cities or came from abroad. 14% from abroad, and within those, the origins of those people, there would be Ukraine, around 18%, but also very popular origins would be Italy, Romania, or Spain. But also in terms of Poland, 21% of people relocated to Krakow. Interestingly enough, the most popular origin was Warsaw, because again, 18% of people that relocated to Krakow relocated from Warsaw. 65% are locals. We also checked what are the levels of positions that those people currently work on. That was also one of the key questions or the key areas which the HR managers and business representatives focused on during our workshops, because it was extremely important for them to know what is important for people from director level or manager level, as well as to differentiate that a little bit more from the specialist level positions. Again, because of the numbers itself, the majority of our respondents, because over 50% were people from the specialist level position or senior specialist level. However, we also had some senior managers, directors, and team leaders who were answering to the questions. And in general, the average time they've spent working in shared service centers was 5 years. We also differentiated the functions within which those people worked in. We've had representatives of IT companies and IT functions, software development, as well as IT help desk, customer service, data management, accountancy and finance, as well as financial services, so banking organizations. Now, the first question that we wanted to focus today is how can Krakow attract the right talent? And again, during the workshops, we were thinking if the Krakow is the benefit and is it the carrot itself, meaning how much Krakow helps to bring talent to the city, to the other shared service centers and outsourcing companies. Probably it's difficult to answer that question already at this stage. However, possibly there is a lot in that. Certainly, a lot of people are being attracted by the city. Overall, 18% of the respondents informed that that's something that made them come to Krakow, but it's not the most important and certainly not the crucial part, not the deal breaker. Majority of the people responded that it's all about the job opportunities. Even if they come, they don't like the job, but they moved already. There are so many other jobs that they feel safe coming to the city, which provides that many opportunities. We've discussed that it's 25% growth annually, which means a few thousand jobs being opened, created in Krakow each year. Some of those are new companies entering the market, some are reinvesting, but still lots of opportunities. The other thing would be international environment, also opportunity to communicate in English. English is one language. Of course, there are other languages in which people could communicate, and that's specifically applicable to foreigners. Educational offer, also very important. And now if you take a look into what was the answer of people that came from abroad, for them it's about international environment, about the fact that after they come here, they can integrate quite quickly into the city. They will have some other colleagues or friends from their hometowns. So this already acts and works as a magnet, and this helps attract them, certainly. The other thing, again, possibility to use language skills, but also possibility to go to the shop and buy something in English without any knowledge of Polish. Friendly atmosphere, of course, again, extremely big number of opportunities, and the spirit of the city. Of course, it's much easier to attract foreigners to come to the city because probably they've heard something about Krakow. In terms of Polish respondents, again, it's all about job opportunities, and we could repeat that. Again, international environment and opportunities, but also what Polish respondents replied from other cities is that the educational offer is extremely attractive. And that could be basically two types of respondents. On the one hand, people that graduated from different universities or made a bachelor degree and would like to study during weekends, continue with master's degree, and would like to join one of the best universities in Poland. But on the other hand, more senior candidates that are relocating with their families and they are thinking about their children's future and would like them to attend schools here.
Agata, may I just make a short question, because the question you have put in front was, is it Krakow that attracts really, and then the answer is not so easy, and you have shown the answers which only the last one is the spirit of the city. But on the other hand, and I think it's clear, the other answers are also having a kind of a spirit of the city, because if you say that people from abroad come because of the international environment, that's also the spirit of the city. Sure. So it's kind of a probably the answer is
Yeah.
more complicated. They're just only a sum of these answers, but maybe each of them is somehow mixed with each other.
Well, I mean, all of that was pointed out there, you will find in Krakow. So, if you asked me, I would say yes. It is about Krakow itself. It is. It could be about the spirit of the city, of course, about all of the historical heritage. But that's one thing. Possibly Krakow did not do that many advertising or PR campaigns on the business acumen or the business environment that you have in here. We saw a very nice movie today in the morning on how modern the city is, how vibrant, how many businesses are there. But normally if you watch television, international television, and you do see some commercials about Krakow, you will see mainly some historical touristic locations. But on top of that, if there was some bigger recognition of what you can do, because normally those are companies that need to persuade later on, well, you will find jobs there, you have sufficient information, you have sufficient opportunities. A lot of that is being done by different reports, Krakow being top outsourcing location. So for people that currently work in outsourcing, then certainly they do recognize Krakow. But we are not only targeting people from the sector, we are not only recruiting people from outsourcing. A lot of IT recruitment projects, for example, are being sought, well, candidates are being sought outside of Poland because it's needed. It's needed. Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Now, from the perspective of company, and again, how can the company attract best talent? We focused on two areas. One, how can they attract talent, meaning how can they get in touch with potential talent, so the media, and then what they can tell them and what needs to be told them for them to get attracted and possibly start conversations with the company. So at the beginning, in terms of how to reach them, majority of respondents, again, found a job via job portal. It was a question about their current job. So obviously there could be different ways how they found employment, but majority found it via job portal. A lot of them still found it via friend recommendation, and obviously there's a lot of referral programs within your organizations, and also recruitment agencies. So that would be the three main sources of candidates or employment in this case. However, there are some slight differences, and again, in between groups. In terms of Polish candidates, majority of those, and it doesn't matter if those are Krakow-based candidates or candidates from abroad, they found employment via job boards, mainly, but also very popular recommendations and recruitment agency, and the differences are not that big. However, what is quite important is that majority of people that relocated from abroad, those found jobs mainly via recommendation. And again, it's all about this international community. Normally, if you know someone who can also refer you to his current company or the headhunter that he knows in Krakow, then it's much easier for them to find employment and then relocate. And it's also easier for them to understand the local conditions. Also quite a significant number of people found employment via social media in terms of people from abroad. And this is something that certainly would need to be investigated by your companies if you really target people from other countries. 16%, that is quite a high number. Certainly, well, that's the question to yourselves, because I am aware that social media are being investigated, but also invested in very heavily. So far, not that many local candidates found job this way, but of course, in terms of foreigners, that's quite a significant number. Now, from the perspective of what to tell them and why would they want to come to work in your company, it will all be about the job content, again. How much the job fits the competencies, fits your personal requirements, but also what will it bring to yourself, meaning what type of learning and development training will be provided by the company. It will always be about remuneration as well. Well, it never is a deal breaker from the perspective of the attractiveness of an offer if a person has two similar offers and the remuneration will be better in one of those companies, then certainly that could be the differentiator and the deal breaker, yes. But in terms of remuneration package being the most crucial, it's not necessarily there. And we also see that in terms of the comparisons. It's all about the positions fitting the competencies. It's all about learning and development. What we've also checked, and that's written in more detail in the reports, is that training and development is even more important for senior managers, for team leaders, those people also appreciate flexible scheduling because those people will have different commitments. What is though quite important is that more people that relocated from abroad indicated that remuneration will be important for them. I wouldn't be that scared, also talking about the previous panel. It's not about having the same wage that they would get in Western Europe or Northern Europe, because obviously then we wouldn't be able to compete with other locations. But it is about finding a person that is open to discuss that and to learn how the local conditions look like and what is he able to get for the salary that he's being offered in Poland. And as soon as he is aware that he will be able to pay the accommodation, buy some food, and also will be able to save some money possibly, then it should be fine. So, but that's something very important because those people are very afraid that they will come to the country that they do not know and that they won't be able to afford anything or even trip back home, especially when they hear how much they will be getting and if they compare that to their parents' salaries, for instance. Now, from the perspective of the retention, again, we were focusing on two areas. The first one was the satisfaction and what makes them satisfied, why do they stay, but on the other hand, the leadership. From the perspective of satisfaction, again, financial reward. As mentioned before, hygiene factor, which needs to be fulfilled, otherwise, of course, people will leave. If they cannot afford for the living or for their hobbies, they won't be staying in the company. But as long as your financial offer is in line with the market, then there would be additional factors that you should focus on, and that would be problem solving, that would be learning and development, or feeling valued and appreciated. We also checked how does it look like in different functions, and for example, people that work on technical positions or in IT would appreciate most challenging environment and opportunity to solve problems at work. Accountants would normally be willing to feel appreciated and they want to be valuable by the company, and that's the key for them in order to stay in the company. For example, in customer service, what they value most is opportunity to get bonus. And this is all very often aligned with KPIs, so it's also aligned with the offer. Different motivators across functions as well. Also from the perspective of geography again, very similar. However, it will be more about appreciation and being valued from people that came from abroad. In terms of Polish people, it will be more about learning and development. But the differences are not that significant. So I would value all of the 3 or 4 similarly. Now, from the perspective of the leadership, and it's common knowledge that people very often do not leave companies, but they do leave leaders, unfortunately. So what they expect from their managers? Well, the most important part, the most important aspect is that they are knowledgeable experts. And this is very important, especially that we also found out from the survey, people that work on managerial positions or director position in shared services normally came from different businesses before. The average time they spent in other businesses was 4 years, and they would normally join those companies, the shared service centers, or more senior position. So it appears from the survey that it's extremely crucial for them to find out more about the sector, but also about the area in which they work. So being expert in either HR or finance or IT, despite to your perfect leadership skills, is extremely important. And then, again, ability to motivate your teams. It may seem that it may be difficult to motivate your team if you do not necessarily know what those people are doing. So again, about being an expert, being supportive, being fair, being organized. And what's interesting is that for Polish people, being a knowledgeable expert is more important, as well as being able to motivate them. While for people that came from abroad, it is significant, well, again, very similarly, but also they significantly more appreciate being fair towards them, having good organization skills, and being decisive. In terms of the functions as well, because we also tested that, there are also other areas. For example, people that work in IT appreciate when their supervisors effectively delegate tasks and manage their workload very well. Conclusions. We started talking about that earlier when we talked about Krakow, but also from the perspective of what you can do. One of the reasons, again, why we launched the survey is that we do appreciate a lot of initiatives that are being conducted by associations like Aspire or other communities that try to support the employment in the sector. But normally those are very strategic, which provide long-term return. And normally it will help you recruit, or all of the cooperations with universities, tertiary schools will help you find talent and supply talent longer term. What we tried to learn is that what are the sources of candidates, and if we can find any quick wins. And it appears that by sourcing candidates from outside of local markets, it is possible, as mentioned before, 35% of those people relocated to Krakow for an employment, for the job. So what is important, in my view, is to find the right market where you could source your candidates. And then, obviously, you would need to find appropriate recruitment channel, prepare an offer that they will not be able to resist, and make them stay. Thank you.